Well, today we have Dr. Tamu Green in studio with us. Doctor, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so excited you're here. How are you?
I'm great. I'm delighted to be here. I feel like I've been waiting my whole life to be here. So it's a great morning.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. And, for everyone, for the TEDxFolsom community, if you wouldn't mind just sharing maybe a little bit about your background and what inspired you to really kind of apply to speak at TEDxFolsom.
Well, let's see. A little bit about my background is that I've worked for several decades now in public health and youth leadership development, primarily around substance abuse prevention and racial equity. So that's a bit about my background. I'm the CEO of the Equity and Wellness Institute. And so we really help organizations that need to create racial equity action plans and decision support tools. So everything about my talk is encompassed in how do we have these conversations about things that are emotionally charged, that are hard to talk about, but that we need to talk about if we're actually going to create better policy that young people can thrive in.
Wow, okay. A lot of stuff to unpack in there.
Lots.
I absolutely love it.
Great.
You did mention your talk, but without giving too much away, do you have maybe a short little summary that you want to share, or a little nugget of the idea that you're going to share from stage?
Right. I don't want to have any spoiler alerts, but I do want to talk about how do we stop the inevitability of addiction. So I feel like we have some very simple things that we can actually do to prevent addiction from starting in the first place. And that's what I want to hone in on with my talk.
So Dr. Green, can you tell me, what was your inspiration or reflection point that really led you down the path for this talk?
Well, I had been working in the field of substance abuse prevention for a number of years, but I had the opportunity to become a fellow in a Robert Wood Johnson Foundation program called Developing Leadership and Reducing Substance Abuse. And it was 20 years ago, almost to the day, that we were meeting on the Dartmouth campus with a very esteemed guest, which was the former U.S. Surgeon General, C. Everett Koop. And it was through an exchange, a dialogue that I got to have with him that inspired me to start thinking more broadly about how we could get ahead of addiction for the next generation. So I would say that was my inflection point, and I'm going to talk about it during my TED Talk.
And I'm excited for the culmination of it coming out at TEDxFolsom. And if from our audience, if you want them to walk away with maybe one thing from your talk, what do you think that would be?
Well, I want the audience to feel empowered, to be able to take back the power that so many of us have somehow acquiesced over the generations, and to reimagine what would it look like for us to have that control again over addiction, as opposed to addiction having its control over us. What are the things that we can do to protect the next generations from having to fall into the same pits that we have fallen into? So that's what I really want the audience to get out of that, is the sense of empowerment and having a tangible idea that they can move forward.
I love it. The tangible idea piece especially,
right.
I absolutely love it. I'm excited for it. I know TEDxFolsom community is excited for it. January 21st, 2023, Dr. Tamu Green takes the stage. Again, thank you very much for joining us in the studio.
Thank you so much.